Before you get started, introduce yourself.
For your address.
Yes.
So we're ready for public participation, and who wants to go first?
I'll go first because I want to address something that we talked about the last meeting. I don't know, do you have any minutes?
5 minutes.
Do you have any minutes from the last meeting?
Yes. I do.
I didn't bring them.
Okay.
I read them.
Well, I just wanted to reaffirm something that I said at the last minute because I wasn't prepared. But what I would like to bring to your attention again is that you were discussing a section called 1148, 20, 21, and whatever else, if I'm not mistaken. And I, at that point, recognized that 1148-20 is a business district. It's a district. And it included, from what I understand, and what I've read of 1148-20, it includes public streets, driveways, street lights, signs, trees, planting screens, fences, that sort of thing. I believe if you look at 1187, you'll find that those are subdivision regulations, and they don't fit up into the district regulations because we vote on district regulations from 1137 to 1161 are reserved to the electorate. 1148, 20, 21 or whatever, it's an intrusion on our right to vote. So I'm making a point that subdivision regulations do not belong up in district regulations. There's a difference. District regulations have been established by Ordinance 87, that the ordinance was adopted by council with the whereas. We recognize that certain sections of the code must be submitted to the electorate according to 7A01, and those provisions are 1136 to 1161. And if you look at the old code when it was adopted, at the bottom it says, whereas we recognize that according to the to the ballot of November 4th, 1989, 1136 to 1161 was adopted by the public. So any intrusion in 1137 to 1161 is intruding on our right to vote. And 1148 is just that. It includes 5 pages, and I don't know if we've ever put that type of information in our districts. So I would like to suggest that they either be renumbered, removed, or we'll vote on them. And those are trees, and those are street lights, and that is something we've never asked for. It's not something I've ever asked for. So it's really an intrusion on our right to vote. They need to be put someplace else. Okay, that was my
Thank you.
presentation.
We'll have that in the meeting's record. Yes, it's been written twice. I don't know if it was for sure on the minutes.
Okay. Thank you. Next.
Did you get Sally's information?
Did you get my name?
Can you spell your last name, please?
Gaydosh, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Peter Hale, Hale, 11437 Ravenna Road, Twinsburg. There's a little information for each of you here. Just pass this down, please. Well, we came across some new information this weekend going through the records on the old school in reference to the Twinsburg City demolition permit currently being considered by the ARB. The Committee for the Preservation of the Old School submits to your attached tax information on the school structure located at 8997 Darrell Road. The Summit County Auditor Division, Ohio, tax year 2013, document number 15649 dated 13 August 98 identifies the grantor of the Board of Education of Twinsburg, land parcel 640019 to grantee of Twinsburg, blah blah. The appraised value $2,443,600. The taxable value $288, $280, with 13,000 square foot currently used as a sport area, 13,000 square foot currently used as a school, 35 and 45% of the overall square footage listed in good condition at that time. We've heard that the school's in horrible condition. Well, apparently at that time it was listed in good condition. In addition to the tax information, we submit a copy of the deed given, grant, remissed, and released, and forever quit claim to the grantee, the city of Twinsburg, for the sum of $10. And a very important caveat here, subject to the school remaining a public building so long as it is owned by the grantee, city of Twinsburg. That means that it was illegally voted on to move it to C5. It should not have ever been on the ballot, and it is illegally C5 right now, and we need to move it back to public use where it belongs. On behalf of this submitted deed, the tax information, we, the Old School Committee, request that the ARB inform the Twinsburg City Commissioner Finch that a demolition permit is out of order and as a capital asset assumed on behalf of Twinsburg City taxpayers, that the enforcement provisions and penalties of Chapter 1170.17 be recognized to protect the Old School Covenant, and that the historic structure shall be maintained to remain in good condition as certified by the fiscal officer of Summit County, Kristen M. Scalise, for the reference year November 3, 2013. And there's a copy of the deed and tax information in that packet.
Okay. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Mayor, Larry, have you got something you'd like to add?
Well, Larry Finch, Director of Planning, Community Development for the State of Twinsburg. All due respect, he's not an attorney. It's not a legal interpretation of the language in this code. In my opinion, nothing prohibits the demolition of the old school. It just says, as long as the building is there, as long as the property is owned, it needs to be maintained as a public building. If a building goes past its useful life, it's no longer a purpose to the city. I think the city has the ability and a right to do what they wish with the building. And I just want to also just remind the Architecture Review Board that this does not limit or interrupt the consideration of the certificate of appropriateness. We're still on the negotiated schedule. The meeting still should occur every 45 days at a minimum. You can meet more frequently if you wish. And then I would just defer to the law director for issues such as this.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Okay, we'll proceed with our meeting then. Thank you for coming. First item on the agenda is the Young Explorers Daycare.
We were waiting on planning for them, is that what we were doing?
They've been approved. They
And
went through and they've been approved.
we wanted more detailed drawings to look at. And it's-
But they do have a hearing for a variance being requested by BCA in November 20, a rear setback.
Okay.
That just came up?
No, that was,
Didn't say
That
that
was-
was.
Yeah, I think that was on the drawing.